For over 200 years, Japan slept, safe behind walls of strict isolation, a nation locked in a medieval time capsule known as the Edo period. It was a rigid society, dominated by a warrior caste, the samurai, who served local lords, the daimyo, all answering to a single, hereditary military dictator, the Tokugawa Shogun. But in 1853, that stillness was shattered. The horizon darkened with smoke as four massive, coal-burning American warships, commanded by Commodore Matthew Perry, steamed into Edo Bay. These black ships were a vision from another dimension, powerful monsters of steam and iron that instantly made traditional coastal defenses obsolete. Commodore Perry, representing an expanding industrial United States, delivered an ultimatum: open Japan to trade or face devastating military consequences. This unexpected crisis plunged the Tokugawa Shogunate into immediate paralysis. The military government, which derived its power from defending the nation, had no answer to the foreign threat. Powerless to resist, the shogunate signed the Treaty of Kanagawa in 1854, ending centuries of isolation and igniting a fierce internal power struggle. Across the islands, dissident samurai, particularly from the powerful southern domains, saw the shogunate's weakness not just as a failure, but as an unforgivable humiliation. These young, radical samurai began to unite under a revolutionary slogan: Sano Joy, revere the emperor, expel the barbarians. The stage was now set for a violent confrontation that would collapse the old world and forge a new one. By 1867, the simmering tension finally boiled over into an all-out civil war known as the Boshin War. On one side stood the forces of the traditional Tokugawa Shogunate, desperately clinging to their crumbling authority. On the other side was a modernized alliance of rebel samurai from the Choshu and Satsuma domains, fighting in the name of the teenage Emperor Meiji. Despite being outnumbered, the imperial rebels possessed secretly acquired Western firearms, artillery, and superior tactical organization. In a series of decisive battles, the old guard was crushed, forcing the final shogun, Tokugawa Yoshinobu, to abdicate his power. The victorious rebel army marched into the shogun's capital of Edo, peacefully claiming the city and renaming it Tokyo, the eastern capital. In 1868, the young Emperor Meiji was moved from the ancient city of Kyoto to Tokyo, becoming the undisputed, centralized symbol of a unified Japan. To ensure Japan would never again be threatened by foreign powers, the new government issued the Charter Oath, promising to seek knowledge from across the entire world. In a breathtaking stroke of political engineering, the new leaders convinced the daimyo lords to voluntarily surrender their lands to the emperor, effectively abolishing the feudal system overnight. Japan then sent its brightest minds on a 2-year global tour called the Iwakura Mission to study Western factories, shipyards, and legal systems. They hired thousands of foreign experts, British engineers, French legal scholars, and German military officers to teach the Japanese population. The landscape transformed seemingly overnight as telegraph lines sliced through ancient forests and steam locomotives began tearing across the countryside. The government aggressively subsidized private businesses like Mitsubishi, jump-starting an industrial revolution that took Europe a century to achieve, but took Japan only decades. But modernizing a nation meant discarding its past, and the new government issued a conscription law, creating a modern national army composed of commoners. This was a fatal blow to the samurai class. Their exclusive right to bear arms was revoked, and their government stipends were canceled. The very samurai who had bled to overthrow the shogun and restore the emperor now found themselves discarded by the modern machine they had helped create. In 1877, this resentment exploded into the Satsuma Rebellion, led by the legendary samurai Saigo Takamori. In a tragic clash of eras, rebel samurai armed with swords and outdated rifles threw themselves against the newly conscripted imperial army, which was armed with Gatling guns and modern artillery. The rebellion was brutally crushed, and with Saigo's death, the 1,000-year reign of the samurai class was officially extinguished. With internal resistance eradicated, Japan cemented its modern status in 1889 by adopting the Meiji Constitution, establishing a parliament and a constitutional monarchy. Eager to prove they were no longer a weak, isolated island, Japan turned its newly industrialized military outward. In 1894, they stunned the world by decisively defeating the massive Qing Empire of China, reclaiming Taiwan and gaining dominance over Korea. 10 years later, they achieved the impossible. The Japanese Imperial Navy annihilated the Russian fleet, marking the first time in the modern era an Asian nation defeated a major European power. In less than a single lifetime, the Meiji Restoration took Japan from a feudal society of sword-wielding warriors to an industrialized global empire. It stands today as one of the most astonishing, rapid, and ruthless national transformations in human history.